What if I told you that your refrigerator, the appliance you trust most, is quietly harming your health and nutrition every single day? It may sound dramatic, but for many older adults, this silent mistake is surprisingly common. You see, some everyday foods simply don't belong in the fridge. Cold temperatures don't just dull their flavor, they cause chemical changes that destroy vital nutrients and, in some cases, even create harmful compounds. And this matters more than ever for senior health. As we age, our digestion slows, our nutrient absorption weakens, and our immune systems become more fragile, leaving us more vulnerable to deficiencies, inflammation, and foodborne illness. Did you know that refrigerating certain foods can convert healthy starches into harmful sugars? Or that a damp fridge can foster bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli? Today, I'm counting down 7 common foods that should never be refrigerated, especially if you're over 60. You'll learn the surprising science behind each one and simple ways to protect your health and preserve nutrients your body needs. Let's start with a food found in nearly every kitchen, one that may be working against you. Hi, I'm Vernon, a clinical nutritionist who has spent 25 years helping older adults make smarter nutrition choices. And I've seen firsthand how proper food storage can dramatically improve health. Many seniors assume refrigeration is the safest option. But cold isn't always kind to nutrients, especially for foods like tomatoes, garlic, honey, and potatoes. In this video, I'll explain how refrigeration can backfire and how small changes can support digestion, reduce inflammation, and improve overall well-being. You'll also hear real stories from folks who made these changes and felt the difference. Now, let's start with one of the most misunderstood foods in the fridge. Before we start, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more helpful content for seniors looking to stay healthy naturally. And I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your location in the comments so we can build our community of health-conscious seniors. So let's start our countdown with food number 7, one of the most commonly refrigerated foods that should never see the inside of your fridge. Food number 7, tomatoes, the nutrient destroyer. We begin with tomatoes, one of the most misunderstood foods when it comes to proper storage. When tomatoes are stored in cold temperatures below 55 degrees, a destructive reaction damages their cell structure, turning that firm, juicy fruit into something mealy and bland. According to a 2016 study, refrigeration dramatically alters tomato flavor by shutting down genes that produce flavor-enhancing compounds. For seniors, the nutrient loss is even more concerning. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant linked to heart health. Research shows that refrigeration can reduce lycopene content by up to 25%, a critical loss for senior cardiovascular health. The right way to store tomatoes: place them stem side down on your counter, away from direct sunlight. This preserves both their flavor and nutritional value that's so vital for senior health. Margaret, age 72, had been refrigerating her tomatoes for decades. When she started storing them at room temperature, her routine blood work showed improved markers of inflammation, a change her doctor specifically noted. If you have tomatoes in your refrigerator right now, I urge you to remove them immediately. By making this one simple change, you could be increasing your heart-protective lycopene intake by 25%, potentially adding years to your life with better cardiovascular health. If you found this tip useful for preserving nutrients in your tomatoes, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You'll get more helpful tips to improve your daily health routine and make the most of your meals. Now, while tomatoes suffer from the cold, there's another kitchen staple that faces an even more dramatic transformation in your refrigerator. Food number 6, garlic, the silent toxin creator. I remember talking with Frank, an 81-year-old who'd been struggling with high blood pressure for years. He was doing everything right, watching his diet, taking his medication, but still wasn't seeing results. What surprised both of us was how much of a difference one small change in food storage made. After learning about garlic's potential benefits, he began incorporating it into his meals, but didn't see the improvements he'd hoped for. Turns out, he'd been storing his garlic in the fridge, not knowing that cold temperatures were doing more harm than good. Research has shown that garlic contains allicin, a powerful compound that helps lower blood pressure and cholesterol, key concerns for senior health. Cold temperatures accelerate the chemical breakdown of allicin. When garlic is refrigerated, the moisture induces early sprouting, which diverts the plant's energy away from maintaining those beneficial compounds. What's more alarming, the Food Safety Authority warns that moisture buildup in refrigerated garlic creates an ideal environment for Clostridium botulinum, a bacteria that produces dangerous toxins that can lead to paralysis. This poses a particular risk to seniors whose immune systems naturally weaken with age. For maximum health benefits and safety, store your garlic in a cool, dry place with good air circulation. A wire basket works perfectly. Have you been storing your garlic incorrectly? Let me know in the comments below. Speaking of vegetables that suffer in cold storage, let's move to food number 5, another common food that undergoes alarming chemical changes when refrigerated. Food number 5, potatoes, the cancer risk amplifier. A groundbreaking study documented how refrigeration dramatically increases potato sugar content. Cold temperatures trigger a process called cold-induced sweetening, where potato starch converts to sugar at rates up to 300% faster than at room temperature. Barbara, a 75-year-old with pre-diabetes, experienced this firsthand. "I couldn't understand why my blood sugar would spike after eating homemade potato dishes, but not when I ate at my daughter's house," she told me. After some gentle digging, we found the simple reason. Barbara had been refrigerating her potatoes, while her daughter stored them in a cool, dark pantry just the way nature intended. Even more alarming, research revealed that these excess sugars lead to acrylamide formation when cooked at high temperatures, a compound classified as a probable human carcinogen by the World Health Organization. For seniors already at higher cancer risk, this is especially concerning. The right way is to keep potatoes in a paper bag in a cool, dark place like a pantry, away from onions, which can accelerate sprouting. This simple change doesn't just improve flavor. It could significantly reduce your exposure to a known carcinogen with every meal. If you currently have potatoes in your refrigerator, I strongly urge you to remove them immediately. This one small change could be protecting you from unnecessary cancer risk, especially if you enjoy roasted or fried potatoes regularly. What's your favorite way to store potatoes to keep them fresh and healthy? Share your tips in the comments. We'd love to hear how you store your potatoes for the best flavor and health benefits. So far, we've talked about vegetables. But what about bread? One of the most common, comforting foods on our tables. It turns out, the fridge isn't kind to that either. Food number 4. Bread, the toxic mold incubator. Edward, one of my friends, discovered this the hard way after his wife passed away. "I thought I was being careful by refrigerating everything," he told me. "But my bread always felt tough and dry within just a couple of days." It turns out the problem wasn't the bread, it was the cold. A natural process called retrogradation kicks in when bread is refrigerated. The starch molecules begin to crystallize rapidly, pushing out moisture and leaving the loaf dense, dry, and far less enjoyable to eat. Most people assume refrigeration preserves everything, but with bread, the opposite is true, notes Dr. Emily Bueller, chemist and author of Bread Science. Cold temperatures accelerate staling and create perfect conditions for dangerous mold growth when brought back to room temperature. This transformation isn't just about taste. Research has linked consumption of stale bread to reduced digestibility, a critical concern for seniors with age-related digestive enzyme reduction. Worse yet, some molds produce mycotoxins that can be particularly harmful to older adults with weakened immune systems. The American Institute of Baking recommends this approach. Store bread at room temperature if using within 2 to 3 Daltons was, and freeze, don't refrigerate, for longer storage. If you currently have bread in your refrigerator, move it to your counter or freezer immediately. This simple change could protect you from exposure to harmful molds, while preserving both flavor and digestibility that are so crucial for senior nutrition. If you're learning new ways to store food for better flavor and health, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You'll get more tips on how to store your food properly and make the most of its benefits every day. They call honey liquid gold for a reason. It's one of the few foods that never spoils. And yet, when stored in the fridge, even this golden gift of nature can lose some of its magic. Food number 3. Honey, nature's medicine cabinet destroyer. Honey, often called nature's medicine cabinet for good reason. But when stored in the fridge, it can turn from a healing ally into a hardened headache. Cold temperatures cause honey to crystallize quickly, transforming it into a gritty, stiff mess that's hard to use. For seniors dealing with arthritis or weakened grip strength, this can make something as simple as sweetening a cup of tea feel like a chore. But here's the part most folks don't realize: it's not just about texture. Honey contains an enzyme called glucose oxidase, which produces hydrogen peroxide. That's what gives raw honey its powerful, natural antibacterial qualities. This enzyme works best at room temperature, but in the cold, it becomes dormant, reducing honey's health-boosting potential. Helen, 70, from Minnesota, relied on local raw honey to ease her seasonal allergies. "I took a spoonful every morning, faithfully," she told me. But nothing changed. When I asked how she stored it, she said, "You guessed it, the fridge." After switching to a room temperature jar, she noticed her symptoms improving within weeks. So if you've been tucking your honey into the fridge, don't worry, you're not alone. Just try keeping it at room temperature, away from direct sunlight, in its original bottle or a sealed glass jar. You'll find it stays smooth, easy to use, and most importantly, keeps all of its wonderful health benefits right where you need them. Do you find these tips helpful? If so, take a second to tap that like button. It really helps more seniors discover safe kitchen habits. Food number 2. Olive oil, the heart health reverser. I still remember the first time I tasted real extra virgin olive oil. It was on a warm afternoon in southern Italy, where my uncle ran a small vineyard. He sliced some bread, drizzled that golden oil across the top, and said, "This is what keeps your heart young." At the time, I laughed, but decades later, I understand what he meant. We now know that extra virgin olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fats and polyphenols, 2 nutrients widely recognized for protecting cardiovascular health. A 2018 study published in the New England Journal of Medicine showed that seniors on a Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil had a 30% lower risk of heart attack, stroke, or death from cardiovascular causes compared to those on a low-fat diet. But only if the oil is stored right. Cold temperatures cause olive oil to thicken, sure, but the bigger issue is oxidation. Taking olive oil in and out of the fridge causes temperature swings that break down those delicate antioxidants. Over time, it loses both its flavor and its health benefits. I remember talking to Richard, 77, who'd recently started making healthy changes after a minor heart scare. "I keep it in the fridge so it doesn't spoil," he told me. "But it gets so thick, I end up using canola oil instead." That one small habit was quietly working against everything his doctor recommended. We switched it out, moved the bottle to a dark glass container tucked away in a cool cabinet. A few months later, he called me after his checkup. His cholesterol numbers were better, and he said the olive oil tasted like it did when he was young. Sometimes it's the little things that make all the difference. If you're trying to follow a heart-healthy diet, olive oil should be your ally, not a half-solid chore. Have you ever noticed your olive oil turning cloudy or bitter? Let's talk about it in the comments. Sharing these little stories helps all of us stay a little healthier. It's something we chop into soups, stir into sauces, and keep on hand all year round. But when stored cold, this pantry staple can quickly turn into a breeding ground for bacteria. Food number 1. Onions, the bacterial breeding ground. The humble onion has been found in recipes dating back thousands of years, valued not just for its flavor, but for its remarkable health properties. Yet modern storage habits often rob us of these benefits before the onion even reaches our plates. A team at Cornell University discovered that when onions are stored in cold, humid refrigerator environments, they absorb moisture rapidly. This not only makes them mushy, but creates ideal conditions for bacterial growth, including Salmonella and E. coli pathogens that pose greater risks for seniors, especially those with weakened immune systems. This science-backed insight would have saved Joyce, 83, a lot of frustration. She's the kind of woman who still cooks everything from scratch, soups, stews, even homemade relishes. But her onions? They kept turning soft and slimy, she said. I thought the fridge was the safest place for everything. Beyond texture, onions contain quercetin, a powerful flavonoid linked to reduced inflammation, something many seniors struggle with due to arthritis and other age-related conditions. But improper storage means that benefit can be lost before it ever reaches your plate. The good news? The solution is beautifully simple. Store whole onions in a mesh bag or open basket, in a cool, dry spot away from potatoes. No fridge, no plastic bags, and they'll reward you with weeks of crisp, flavorful life. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these foods have you been refrigerating? Share your thoughts in the comments. We've just explored 7 everyday foods that should never see the inside of your refrigerator, especially if you're over 60. Let's take a quick moment to recap the best ways to store them for maximum nutrition, safety, and flavor. Tomatoes. Store stem, side down on your counter, away from direct sunlight. Garlic. Keep in a wire basket or a breathable container in a cool, dry spot. Potatoes. Place in a paper bag in a dark cupboard and keep them away from onions. Bread. Room temperature is fine for 2-3 days. Freeze it for longer storage. Honey. Store at room temperature in its original sealed container. Olive oil. A cool, dark cabinet away from heat helps preserve its healthy compounds. Onions. Best kept in a mesh bag or open basket in a well-ventilated, dry space. As a nutritionist specializing in senior health, I always recommend setting up a small no-fridge food zone in your kitchen, a simple, dedicated shelf or basket where these items can be safely stored the way nature intended. And remember, before making any major changes to your diet, always check with your doctor, especially if you're taking medications. Some foods and nutrients can interact with prescriptions in ways that deserve expert guidance. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's learn from one another. If you found this information on senior nutrition helpful, please hit that thumbs up button to support the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss a new video on senior health, healthy aging, and smart food choices for older adults. And if someone you care about could benefit from feeling stronger, more focused, or just a little more balanced, share this with them. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in our next video about nutrition for seniors. And if you're focused on eating smarter as you age, you might also enjoy our video titled 7 Breakfast Foods You Must Never Eat. Even if you're hungry, Senior Health Guide. You can find the link in the description below.